Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Stretford Paddock for another episode of Paper Talk, the show where we sift through the dirt sheets and sort the news or sort the truth from the BS in the dirt sheets of the leading papers. And starting off with what most papers are leading with, Manchester United landing in Australia yesterday in Perth for the start of their pre-season tour, and also leading with the story, the Daily Express, and may have been something that some of you may have seen on social media, is the video exchange, or the exchange between Jesse Lingard and Paul Pogba. A lot of the papers and online running with the fact it seems to be a spat between the two. The video is the players walking within a group, and Lingard and Pogba exchanging words. Victor Lindelof coming between the two to act as a sort of peacemaker and intervene. A lot of people online obviously running with the fact that Paul Pogba has made no bones about the fact he wants to leave the club, and people presuming that this has obviously caused friction within the squad. I mean, something like this, the video was put out by the club as well, so it's hard to imagine, I should say, that there is any real substance behind something like this. We all know that United's PR team, social media team, are pretty careful with what they put out as far as stuff like this goes. Again, I don't see it's a slow news day, really. It's one of those things where the papers need to put something for people to read, and it just so happens that something as little as a 4-second clip in a video promoting a pre-season tour is what has people talking. Obviously, this has stirred a lot of conversation at the moment with regards to reigniting the Paul Pogba exiting talks. There's been a lot of people, Mino Raiola, obviously the comments we covered last week, people saying, but it does come down to the fact that clubs afford him and so on. I've said it from the start, I'd be amazed if he's at the club next season, but it's looking more likely that he'll be there given the fact that no one can afford him. But also, Stern as well, Jesse Lingard, not exactly the most popular figure amongst United fans at the moment. A lot of he put up a pic with a few teammates on the plane before jetting off to Perth with Aaron Wan-Bissaka and so on and so forth. And a lot of people in the comments saying, stay away from Jesse, he's a bad influence, this, that, or the other. I personally don't see him as a bad influence, to be honest. He's a young lad enjoying himself. Yeah, he's a bit of a dope, but again, most footballers are. But going back to what we're talking about here, this confrontation, I think it's just a slow news day, to be honest. I can't see much in that. I can't really see any substance behind it. Just people, it's almost as if, when a player, if he's linked with a squad or linked with a team in the transfer window, if he likes a certain Instagram, the papers will run with that, so on and so forth. But again, in my eyes, no substance with that as well. Another story as well that's kind of flown below the radar, something that came as a surprise for us. Apparently, Football Italia are reporting that it is between us and PSG for Tiemoue Bakayoko. Remember him from his very successful spell at Chelsea. 35 million euro is, I should say AC Milan. He was on loan at AC Milan last season, and it should give you all you need to know that they did not want to exercise the 35 million euro option to purchase him on a permanent deal. Obviously, we all know Bakayoko from his ill-fated spell at Chelsea, where he, to be honest, was, and granted it was in a horrendous Chelsea team, but he really was one of the worst players in that Chelsea team off the back of winning the title, I believe, as well. I just think, to be honest, again, this is just slow news. There's not a lot of movement on the Longstaff deal. There's not a lot of movement at the moment on the Bruno Fernandes deal. So let's pick one central midfielder who's in somewhat of an abyss transfer-wise, and linking with United as seems to be the issue every week. Bakayoko, let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking of Bakayoko. I'd be amazed if there's any of you who think that Bakayoko would fit. Well, technically, if you saw him at Monaco, I mean, we know what he's capable of. But if we're talking about someone, if we're wanting to buy players who can cut it in the Premier League, I don't see what the point is in purchasing a guy like Bakayoko, who was tried and failed in the Premier League. For 35 million euro is pretty much a bargain in this market as well. That's about 29 million pounds. And when you consider how inflated the market is, and AC Milan wouldn't want to exercise the buyout clause, 35 million euro, to get a 24-year-old Bakayoko. So it's not as if he's aging. He's not a 28, 29-year-old. But 35 million. It should tell you all you need to know. Apparently, he had a few up and down performances in Milan. Had a shocker on his debut, allegedly, but kind of fought his way back into Gattuso's plans. But obviously, Gattuso getting the boot there a while ago, so obviously not in the plans for the Rossoneri as of yet. Moving on as well to a little story that the MEN are going with, and it fits in well with the whole contract disputes that fans are having amongst themselves. There's a lot of splitting opinions in the fan base. You know, the contracts of the likes of Juan Mata, Andres Pereira have split opinions, and Ander Herrera has come out himself now and said suggested that the reason he didn't want to extend his contract at Manchester United was essentially the slow approach, the dithering approach, as the MEN have gone with there. Herrera coming out and saying, I do not like the past. I do not like looking at the past very much, but there were differences regarding the project and my importance within it. I was very happy. I have a lot to thank the club and the fans for it, and also to Solsjkaer. He did a lot for me to stay, but things did not happen. They, United, arrived late, and by then I had already made the decision to stay in Paris. So kind of confirming what we all believed from the very beginning when Simon Stone reported that Herrera was to go, or it was Duncan Castles, sorry, when Duncan Castles reported that Ander Herrera had agreed a deal to join PSG on a free transfer back all the way. I think it was before the end of the season. If you remember, there was a lot of discussions whether he was going to be involved in the squad, and he really wasn't, apparently due to injury. But obviously it was confirmed last week that he has joined PSG on a 5-year deal as well, kind of signalling why he didn't want to stay at United. PSG offering a 5-year deal at his age. Obviously Herrera getting on in years as well, approaching 30 now. And the club, let's face it, if United were to offer Ander Herrera a 5-year deal, we'd be up in arms, wouldn't we? We offered Juan Mata a deal up until he was 34, and we were up in arms. And he wasn't meant to be even. We assume anyway, he's not going to be a first team kind of squad regular. Herrera, we were all crying out for him to be. And to be honest, he probably should have been offered a contract extension, but I think we would have all agreed that a 5-year one probably wouldn't have fit into the ideology or the plans for getting the club forward. I still think he could have offered so much, and I'm so sad, and I think we can all agree to see a player like Ander Herrera leave the club. The passion he showed in the shirt was kind of unparalleled to any player in an era where we're struggling to even get 100% performances for most players. I'm amazed he wasn't made club captain, honestly. If you think Paul Pogba, obviously there was a lot of talk that Solskjaer at the Times were reporting a few days ago that Ollie was going to offer the captaincy to Paul Pogba in order to lure him to stay. It doesn't look like that's a likely option now, given the fact he wants to leave. And Ander Herrera would have been that perfect mould to be a club captain, to be honest. But again, wish him the best at PSG. He probably won't be even playing that much given the depth that PSG have at their disposal at the moment, but wish him all the best. And he's putting up, he's saying as well he wouldn't want to play for any English club bar Manchester United, and PSG are kind of the only club he would leave a team like United for. Obviously, turning down a 5-year contract like that would be very difficult, and the wages they're giving him as well. Let's see what you lot are saying in the comments. Let's see. A lot of stuff here about Jesse Lingard. For how long will people see Lingard as young? He's 27 and acting like a kid. That seems to be a consistent commentary, doesn't it, on the Jesse Lingard situation. I can see why he does kind of boil the piss out a lot of the fan base when we are losing, and he does post stuff on social media like the beans thing, which did make me cringe a bit, I'm not going to lie. And it does kind of stir it within the fan base when you're not putting in performances on the pitch and you're doing stuff like this. But to be honest, it's really not, like, it's not really a big deal to me. I can only speak for myself. It's like, it's the modern day footballer, isn't it? Social media is such a big thing in their lives. But again, it's I still think Jesse Lingard has so much to offer for the club. And going forward, maybe not as a first team player, but next season as well. Also, guys, make sure to smash the like button on this video. We're closing in on 10,000 subscribers, and we were hoping to get it by the start of the season, but you guys have been absolutely smashing it so far. Just get a few more questions out in the comments below. United will get 3 quality players before end of transfer market, but will still be mid-table next season. It's sad, but it's true. We are rebuilding here. I don't think we'll be mid-table next season. I still think there's a lot of quality within the squad to bring us within that top 4 is essentially what we're aiming for next season. But we'll wait and see. Bruno Fernandes, if that deal was to go through, that would be a great bit of business. And also someone like Harry Maguire. Can't agree with the transfer fee, but someone along those lines. If we could get it done, I wouldn't be too mad, but we'll wait and see. Anyway, guys, that's all from us today here at the Stretford Paddock. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe the video down below, and hit, as I said, the subscribe button. 10k we're aiming to get for by the end of the week, and maybe, just maybe, 20k before Saturday or the start of the season. And keep your eyes peeled. There will be content coming from Australia. We are sending Joe out there to cover the pre-season tour, so keep your eyes peeled, and we'll see you next time.